Her lawyer called her at 8:43 p.m. I know because I watched her phone light up across the table. We were eating dinner in silence, the kind of silence that happens after love dies but neither party wants to admit it's a corpse. She answered without looking at me, her voice flat, polite. Then came the shift. Her fork froze mid-air, her expression cracked, and when she said, "What do you mean?" her tone trembled in a way I hadn't heard in years. I kept chewing, slowly, calmly, because I already knew what he was calling about. When she hung up, her fingers were shaking so hard she dropped her phone. The color drained from her face. She whispered, "He found out." Then looked at me like I was the one holding the knife. In a way, I was. It began a month ago, the night she told her mother she was leaving me. She didn't know I heard her. Her voice carried through the kitchen wall, brittle and cruel. "I can't live with a man who earns less than me," she said. "I need someone ambitious." Her mother sighed, something about doing what makes you happy. And me? I just stood in the hallway, holding the empty glass I'd been about to fill, listening to my wife dismantle me piece by piece. When she walked out of the room and saw me standing there, she smiled like nothing happened. That was the night I decided not to argue. I agreed to everything she wanted. The house, the car, half the savings. I let her believe she'd won. But something in me switched off that night, a quiet click in the dark. Not rage, not sorrow, just a steady awareness that I was finished being the fool. In the weeks that followed, she moved with the confidence of a victor. She smiled more, dressed better. Her phone, once left anywhere, was suddenly glued to her hand. I didn't question it. I watched. I watched her leave for late meetings. I noted the unfamiliar perfume that lingered when she came home. I caught a glimpse of an email, her new lawyer's name, a firm I once did accounting for. And that's when the plan began to take shape. Not revenge, correction. I requested access to the property documents before signing anything. She was too busy gloating to notice that the lawyer's email address she sent me was a contact I had used years ago. The man owed me a favor. For 3 quiet weeks, I built a paper wall around her. Every lie, every signature, every whispered plan to drain what little I had left, I watched it unfold from behind a calm smile. Inside, I was cold steel. Outside, I was the same silent husband she thought she'd outgrown. When the lawyer called her tonight, he wasn't supposed to tell her anything, but shock makes people careless. He asked her, voice trembling, why she hadn't told him about the clause in the prenup, the one I'd quietly reinstated months before our marriage fell apart. A clause she had initialed, a clause that nullified her right to anything if she initiated the divorce. She didn't even remember signing it. I made sure of that. I'd slipped it into the pile the day she rushed to finalize her promotion. She signed without reading. It sat in my drawer for years, a sleeping ghost. Now it was awake. When I looked at her across the table tonight, the air felt colder. She whispered, "You did this." I didn't answer. I just folded my napkin, set it beside my plate, and stood. Her breathing quickened, her eyes filled, not with sorrow, but with the dawning horror of losing everything she thought she'd stolen. She followed me into the living room. "You can't do this to me," she said. Her voice cracked, desperate now. I turned to her, finally meeting her eyes. "You already did," I said. I handed her a single envelope. Inside were copies of the revised documents, her signature circled, the date highlighted. Her lawyer's message still glowed on her phone. "You have no claim to his assets. The clause is binding." She sank onto the couch, shaking. For once, the silence wasn't mine to carry. I walked to the door, the weight in my chest not pain, just relief. A kind of cleansing chill. When I reached the threshold, she whispered, "You planned this." I paused. I adapted, I said. Then I left her there, surrounded by everything she thought she deserved. It's strange how calm I felt driving away. No victory, no thrill, just balance. The city lights blurred past, each one a memory dissolving. The man she underestimated died quietly somewhere between her confession and my silence. I don't hate her. Hate requires emotion. I'm past that. What remains is clarity. She took my love, measured it against her greed, and lost both. And me? I took back my peace. When people ask why I didn't fight for the marriage, I tell them the truth. I didn't lose her, I released her. Because some people only understand what they've broken once they're standing in the ruins alone. And tonight, she finally is.
Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, share, and comment. Subscribe now to Cheating Stories Insight World for more amazing stories.